We are losing the battle to save South Africa's rhinos. With almost 4,000 poached in just 7 years, and with end-user markets in the east continuing to grow, there is little doubt we are running out of time to save this iconic animal. Conservation organizations, companies and individuals are trying a variety of approaches to save the rhino, ranging from protection measures, legalizing trade debates and dehorning, to education and awareness campaigns. For organizations like the Wilderness Foundation, the key lies in reducing demand. Their Forever Wild campaign is focused on measures to reduce the demand for rhino horn amongst users, the majority of whom are found in Vietnam and China.
I believe they know where the horns they're consuming are from, like in terms of country, but they don't know how and exactly the procedure, the bloody scene that happened before that horn got to their hands.
There's a deep disconnection between the eventual end user and where this product comes from and at what cost. And that is precisely what the demand reduction campaign is actually about.
Protection is still one of the most important things that we can do, but we now realize that it's not enough, and we've got to add better law enforcement, better international cooperation, and most importantly go right to the root of the problem, and that is a group of consumers who want to consume these products. They're prepared to pay a lot of money for it, and that's feeding the system.
Rhino horn consumers are primarily from the middle-aged upper class, who buy the horn, sometimes in its entirety, as a status symbol of wealth and strength. Powdered horn is also taken in the belief that it can cure ailments from the common cold to cancer.
Most of my friends, they know about the crisis, and they also know that their parents or someone in their family are using the rhino horn, but they seem like they're just trying to brush it off, and they say, oh well, that's their lifestyle, I'm just a young girl or guy. If I tell them to do this or do that, the adults will be really mad, and we need to respect the elders because they know what they're doing.
The Wilderness Foundation and its partners Peace Parks and Investec Rhino Lifeline launched an essay writing competition in select schools across Vietnam. 22 of the best students were selected to come to South Africa to take part in a 5-day wilderness leadership trail in the Hluhluwe Umfolozi Game Reserve.
We start off by separating them from their technology, from their comforts of daily life, from the roof over your head, and then we try and facilitate some kind of connection with the rhythms of nature, particularly to give them the opportunity to see and experience rhinos in the wild.
Feel humbling, at the same time feel ashamed as a Vietnamese in terms of as one of the most consumers using the horns of the rhinos in the world.
I saw how beautiful our earth is, our animal is, and I met some really beautiful wild animals. It amazed me how such little days can change me.
It was so wonderful because the way they were listening, the way they behaved, it was quite well. So it made us see how important we are and the role that we're playing to them. It was quite amazing.
Amazingly, the rhino was the first animal that we saw when we entered the wilderness. So what we said, it was a good welcome. They were so delighted.
Seeing them in their natural habitat, being so happy, and just carrying on in their lives just makes me feel so bad that some people actually want to disturb that to have benefit for themselves for just money, something that is so contemporary and not very meaningful.
Following the trail, the students attended a conference where they learned more about the poaching crisis.
I already know about this problem before, but I never really see the pictures where the rhinos is cut half of its face. It really shocked me how people can actually do something that horrible.
I realized how it is also a human problem. It's not all about saving the animals and how we love animals and how they're cute and they shouldn't be harmed, but it's also about us If we're willing to do that to other animals, what are we willing to do to ourselves, to our fellow humans?
The students spent the afternoon workshopping viable ideas for demand reduction campaigns that could be run when they return to Vietnam.
My first option is to change the image of rhino horns in people's mind, as in make them go from, oh my gosh, you have that, into like, oh, you have that, you have a rhino horn, what's wrong with you, you know?
Firstly, I will have contact with the HTV. It's like national television in Vietnam is very popular, and we will try to propose them like a talk show so we can share the trials and the information to the audience. We're also thinking about finding the sponsor to print the flyers, you know, the leaflets, and create it join into the events.
To have those people who represent a consumer country right in our midst, who are prepared to go back and become our partners in this fight, gives us on the ground an enormous amount of motivation. And I think what South Africa needs more than anything at the moment is motivation.